So, tick, tick, tick. I'll watch my screen, and inevitably Jacob will be the first. But let's see. I think somebody did beat him once. So let's see what we got here. All right, come on, YouTube. Let's go. People are waiting. There we go. Hi, everybody. Good evening. All right, good deal. Did we have somebody win? Did Checks to Mix One beat Jacob? We have a new leader. All right. Okay. Good evening, gang. I got sat down here at 2 minutes to 8 because it was running around trying to water gardens, and then it's like, oh my God, I got to eat some dinner. So it's like shovel some food in me and go. So interesting week so far, huh? As you all saw, if you watched the videos, first off, OSHA kind of came out and said, hey, you know what? Can't do this. Now, a lot of you guys have asked me for an OSHA letter. There is not an OSHA letter. It is on the OSHA website under their frequently asked questions part. And if you go down to the part that says vaccine information or whatever, vaccine something or other, that is where OSHA is talking about that companies are held liable if they require somebody to get the jab. So it's not a letter. I linked it in this morning's video, so you can go look it up, but it's not a letter. So the letter I have, sure, I'll email that to everybody, but I've got a lot of people asking for an OSHA letter, and there is no such thing. So that being said on that. Now, the other one that, if y'all caught, and I kind of touched on this one real quick, was the Supreme Court basically nixing red flag laws and supporting somewhat, at least, the Second Amendment. 9-0, surprisingly. Even the liberals got on board with this one. That whole case where the cops came because a husband and wife was having an argument, and the husband said, here, just put me out of my misery, and the gun wasn't even loaded. The cops came and said, hey, you need to go to the hospital, just get checked out. And then they lied to the wife and said, oh yeah, he said we could search the house, and they confiscated the guns he had and then wouldn't give them back. That completely got thrown out. So I don't know what happened to the cops, but that was a huge killer for the left and their gun grab deal. And, Michael Bloomberg's been all over the place saying, oh, this is so wrong and everything like that. Well, dumbass, you ran for president. You couldn't get 1% of the vote in the Democrat primaries. You got beat by a potato. So I don't think a whole lot of people outside of maybe your immediate family give a damn what you think. So, go home, shut up, and die. You're old enough. We don't need you here anymore anyway. So, and then, of course, that also is good for the Second Amendment because basically the Supreme Court said, yeah, this guy's allowed to own weapons. So, good deal there. Okay, so those are the kind of fun things that we've talked about in the news. I know there's other stuff that's come up. Biden's speech today, that is the topic of tomorrow morning's video. So kind of interesting. I know a few of you have emailed me or made comments on today's video about, what's he really thinking? And I think I got it figured out. So might be interesting, but it took me a while to put 2 and 2 together on that one, but it's like, got it. I know exactly what's going on. So, all right. So that's the fun part. Good evening to everybody. 352 of you in here. My executioners are here. I see Jacob's in here. I saw Patriot Sandwich Maker. I don't know. Do we have anybody else? Yep, North Shore's in here too. Okay, so we got the 3 normals. So good deal. As per normal, these guys, like I said, are the executioners. If anybody wants to be mean, nasty, rude, whatever would be, off with your head. So, and by now I think everybody who's been around here once or twice pretty much knows they don't put up with any shit, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So we keep it nice and PG-13 around here. And if anybody wants to argue, they can go over to, the latest sheep video and do something like that. Or, go on the White House video. Hell, nobody likes those anyway. With 5-1 downvotes, upvotes, you can go bitch there all you want. Unless they have the comments turned off because they don't want to hear them. Okay. We'll kind of get into it here quickly as the crowd keeps rolling in. So, as per normal, guys, nothing's off limits as long as it's not foul. Please put your questions in all caps. That's how I wind up reading stuff. I understand there's a whole bunch of conversations that are going in. Keep those to lowercase, and I can look at the uppercase. That way I can move along. I start at the top. I move on down the list, which means I'm way behind the chat and answering questions, which of course means I got to get caught up every once in a while when YouTube blips me down to the bottom. But if I haven't got to your questions in 5-10 minutes or something, feel free to repost it. If I see it a second time and I've already answered it, I will obviously just skip it. No big deal there. But that's all I ask. Just put them in caps and we'll go from there. So let's see where we want to start. And we'll say right back to the top. Well, maybe to the top. I don't think I'm all the way to the top. Well, I am as far as I can go, but I can't get any further up. So let's see. A couple of you guys were talking about, have asked about what's going on with Colonial Pipeline. I'll touch base on this real quick. It's their communication system. Don't know if it's been hacked. Don't know if it's down, but it's causing disruptions in the fuel again because the endpoints, whatever receiving side can't find out how the pipeline is flowing, or when they can expect their deliveries or anything like that. Developing, don't know enough. Some may have happened here in the last couple hours. I don't know, but it doesn't seem to be too crazy yet. But another snafu. Go figure. All right, so let's see. Dana Nepsa, hello everyone, and Mr. and Mrs. P. Hello to you, Dana. Amy Arsenault, hi everybody. Hope all is well. Hello, Amy. Lisa Preps, I just went to a coin shop and bought some silver for the first time in my life today. 1 ounce rounds, felt like a fish out of water there. $34.79 per 1 ounce round. Okay, and I hope it's real. Now, if it's a coin shop, 99.99999% chance it's real. I'm not going to worry about that whatsoever because, like I said many times, that is their reputation. If the guy's caught selling aluminum one time, poof, he's out of business, and then he's also charged with fraud and a whole line. So it's not really worth it. Now the $34.79, a tad high, but I will explain why. I'm looking on compare silver prices right now, and silver.com is the lowest for 1 ounce rounds at $32.62. Now, granted, that's depending on how much you buy, there'd be shipping on top. If you buy enough, you obviously don't have to pay for shipping. But remember, when you are buying from a coin shop or whatever, that place is a business. And, the guy or the gal that is running the place, they got to eat too. So, not only because a lot of times they're buying from the bullion dealers, or they're going to coin shows or something like that. They're trying to buy wholesale and selling to you retail. That's why a lot of what I do is to compare silver prices and look at the bullion dealers, because then I'm buying closer to wholesale without adding one more person that wants a cut. $34.79. I mean, I'm looking on here. Buy gold and silver coins is $34.24. They're the most. Gold and silver is $34.01. So yeah, you paid $1 or $2 more for the coin. All in all, I'm not overly concerned about it. If you guys saw where silver closed today, 28.20. Silver got up to 28.70 something. So there is definitely room to run on the upside. If we break 30, guys, quickly, 50 is not out of question. All right, so not quickly, but getting there again. And we haven't seen that since the 80s. Okay. Find where I am again. But congratulations on joining the Stackers Club. Okay. Brennan 1971 says, happy Tuesday night, everyone. Yeah, it's only Tuesday. It's been a long week already. Scrolling on through. All y'all saying hello to each other. Lorna P., anyone needs some rain? I have extra to give. Yeah, I've heard you guys down in South Texas are getting buried or drowned, I guess is a better way to put it. I'm hoping some of it comes up this way, but I mean, I'm not supposed to get any all week. So, again, we're out watering the gardens and stuff like that because obviously I'd like to keep the stuff alive. I've worked hard enough. But yeah, I'd go for some rain. Personally, for me, let it rain during the week while I'm working and be nice and sunny and warm on the weekend when I can get out in the yard and work, not just for an hour or two after work is over. So, but yeah, if you can send some my way, please, I'll take some. Checks to mix 1. Crap soil, thrown together soil. My peas are turning yellow. Anything I can do or scrap it and fix it. The soil for warm weather crop. If it's turning yellow, well, I mean, they'll turn yellow when they're about done, but I can't think your peas are done for the season unless you live way south. Because, I mean, I just got my first harvest of peas, and I mean, it was maybe a couple of cups today, though we had them for dinner, and they were really good. But if you are having that problem, one of two things is going to be the issue. Either you're overwatering them, and that's causing them to turn yellow, or they've got a nitrogen deficiency. So you can get yourself some blood meal or even like lawn fertilizer, something that's got a high nitrogen content. Your NPK, those 3 numbers on fertilizer, the first one is nitrogen. So anything that's got a high number, that's what you're going to want to put if you're turning yellow. Unless you're getting, if you're down in Texas and you're getting flooded, it's too much water. Those would be the 2 reasons why they're turning yellow. Let's see. Robert Winslow, I really don't think Biden is able to think. And you're touching on my conversation for the morning because his speech today was obviously not written by him, but whoever wrote it can't even think, and I'll explain why. Okay, where are we going here? Lots of hellos and did we just shoot the bottom? Yes, we did. Okay. Sorry, guys. Happens every time. I got to go find it when Yahoo shoots me to the bottom of the chat. All right. Debbie in North Carolina says, can we talk about the Schumann resonance? I have no clue what it is, so I guess that would be a no. So, Raptor Ranch, hello everyone. Payday prepping today. Need a bigger pantry. Yeah, and there's something, Rudy over at Alaska Prepper does his payday preps and stuff like that. Definitely a good thing. I mean, I've said it many times, buy a couple extra things every time you go to the grocery store, whatever you can do, but stock. I know this is beating a dead horse, telling people to go out and get more stuff, but y'all know prices aren't going down anytime soon. Okay, so if you can get it and you can store it, store it. I mean, I think I told you last week we were at Walmart and I found $1.99 chicken breasts, and first time I canned chicken breasts, but it was like, okay, I can put some chicken breasts away, because the other store I was at, they were over $3. Well, hell, you know what? I'll save myself $1 and change a pound because that's probably what I'm going to be paying over the summer for them. But if I've got some back, it's a savings account. Sunset, how off grid am I? I'm not. Okay. I mean, I still have local power company power. The funny part is, even if I tried to get off grid here, I can't. I still have to be hooked up to the grid, so that wouldn't matter. I mean, because they still want their $12 or whatever meter fee every month. I'm on a well, so I don't have any city water, city trash, city sewer, anything like that. And obviously, I have internet and a cell phone. So, yeah, not off grid. I mean, if I lose the internet and cell phone, fine, no big deal. I mean, obviously, I don't do videos and all this sort of stuff even work because my work requires both. But yeah, I mean, if SHTF happens and we don't have internet, cell phone, that's not, the only thing that would get me, and it's my concern, is power. And so, I've got my generators and everything along those lines. But yeah, as for having power like normal, that's the only thing that I would be short on in regards to if we wind up going back to the 1800s. Ace Maduro, what's tonight's libation? My typical Tuesday night non-alcoholic beer. So Saturday's the libation. Tuesday, the weekdays are keep me from having a headache in the morning. Rob Blackwell, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Hezbollah, and Hamas. Any correlation? Turkey. There's your correlation. Turkey's got its hands in both. And I told you guys long before anybody else said, watch Turkey. They are dangerous. And they're trying to play both sides of the fence. Turkey, I guess Erdogan went and had a bitch session with Biden the other day, because you've got the U.S. literally supporting both sides between Israel and Hamas. Figure that one out. So, yeah, the correlation between them all is Turkey. That's not a lot of people say that, but that's who you need to watch. Because remember, Turkey's is in NATO. I'm not going to say they're an ally, okay, but they had their hands, in everything going on between Russia and Ukraine last month. They've got their hands in everything going on with Israel and Hamas right now, and I don't trust them as far as I could spit. Kenneth Oliver, what is a silver round compared to a silver dollar? A silver round is 99.999% silver. A silver dollar is 90% silver. Okay, so there's the difference. When you hear the term junk silver, it's not junk. It's 90% silver, and usually the rest of it is zinc. But I mean, it still has value and everything like that. But even you look at old Morgan silver dollars and stuff like that, they are 90% silver. They are not 100% silver. So when you were looking for, 99.999% silver. So when you're looking for silver, that's the difference, and you need to pay appropriately. You can buy a silver dollar right now, spot price, okay, for probably around $23. Okay, a 1 ounce silver round is $28.20 at today's closing price. That difference in there is the difference between 99% and 90%. So that's why when you're buying silver, you look at the difference is, okay, what's 90% of 28.90 or 28.20 or whatever it is, and 18, another 7, 20, 25, 20. So yeah, right now it's cheaper to buy a Morgan or something like that for the silver content, because it's 23-ish versus 25-ish. Depends on if you want them though too. There's different ways of doing it. I don't have any junk silver. Okay, I stick to my silver rounds, and I've got a couple of silver bars, not big bars, 10 ounce bars. That's it. Okay, but I actually bought a bunch of copper too. But some of it comes into choice. The advantage to junk silver is sometimes you can get it cheaper, sometimes it's more expensive. The disadvantage is you are competing with collectors for it, and so that can get you into a point of bidding wars or whatever, or higher premiums. So like I said, spot price right now, 23. Now it depends on what the coin shop or whatever it is asking for it. I mean, I've seen some of you guys who sent me pictures, and I look at the coins they're saying the price they've got them, and they've got 100% markup on them. It's like, okay, it's a nickel, which should be worth about $6, and the other place wants $12 for it. And it's like, no, it's not what it's worth. So you need to go in knowledgeable about what it is, but there's your basics on how to do it. Mike Baker, is Canada done? Canada ain't doing a whole lot of smart things, and Trudeau was, not exactly, the 8th grade graduate you'd think he'd be. Mark H., here's a topic we haven't talked about in a long time. What water filter system would you recommend, i.e. a Berkey, an Alexa Pro, whatever it would be? Depends, okay, on your budget. I mean, a Berkey will cost you $3, okay, but it depends on what you're trying to do. Now, I've got a zero water over here. I can go get water out of the lake. I can boil it, run it through a zero water, and I'm good, okay. I also have a travel size Berkey, okay, that still has not come out of the box. Why? Because that is going to be saved only if we get into an SHTF situation. I can use my well, why not use that? I run that through the zero filter and I get pure water at that point. I'm not going to use my Berkey, and I know everybody says, oh, but you got to know how to use it. It's a freaking water filter, okay? You pour it in the top, it comes out the bottom. It's not hard, okay? It's not like I've got to go out and train with the thing. But, Berkey's great. Don't get me wrong. It's just cost prohibitive. Okay. Alexa Pure is great. It's not quite as cost prohibitive, but it's up there too. Like I said, extra step, boil the water, run it through a zero water, and, that's just as good and a hell of a lot cheaper. So, again, redundancy, multiple ways to do things. Because even buying Berkey filters ain't cheap. So, okay. Hillbilly Homesteader 1776. Biden says the unvaccinated will pay. Guess what? That's tomorrow's morning's video. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So we'll go into that because it's more than I'm going to go into here. Leah Burris, how bad is Miracle Grow? Miracle Grow's pretty good. I've never had any problem. The problem I find with Miracle Grow is it's expensive. You can make the better soil or better fertilizer pretty much with a lot of stuff around your house. So if you just want to go pay if you want to pay the money for it, so you have something nice and pretty and blue that you put in your sprayer or whatever, that's fine. But you can basically make everything the same out of a lot of stuff you've probably got in your preps. So, good stuff. It's just expensive. Grumpy old man, Pinball, my silver has doubled since I bought it many years ago. I'm a happy camper. Yeah, somebody said today they bought silver back when it was $5 an ounce. Okay, yeah, you got a 550% return on it right now. Hang on to it because, like I said, break 30, go to 50. Now you're looking good. I mean, for me, it's a double. For you, it's a 10. It's tenfold. So, again, remember, and I'll say this because I know everybody bitches at me and did in the videos again. Silver and gold are wealth preservation tools. Okay, and a Bitcoin is a speculative wealth accumulation tool. Okay, you're not buying Bitcoin so you're protecting your wealth because it does this. Okay, like I said, it's down 35% this month, and it was down again today. But I don't want to see anybody lose money, but eventually there's going to be the person holding the bag at the end going, it's worth nothing and I lost my ass. Yeah, well, we told you so. Gold, silver, copper never has gone to a value of zero. And if anybody says, oh, Bitcoin can't go to a value of zero, it has no value, okay? As much as there were a few nasty comments today, he doesn't know anything about Bitcoin. I guarantee you I probably know more than 99% of the people out there about Bitcoin, all right? Simple reason is my background. It's a fake asset. Speculative, the end. Samich says, Pipeline says they're not reinfected. It's the privately owned logistics company they and other pipeline uses that has the issue. Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't hear anything about another hack or anything like that. Of course, you're going to have all the sensationalists going, oh my God, it happened again. And, it's kind of like, the people, the same thing. It's like, oh, well, they had to pay the ransom in Bitcoin. That just tells you Bitcoin's a criminal organization. No, there's actually more fraud with credit cards than there is with Bitcoin because obviously there's more people that use them. Okay. But credit cards aren't a criminal enterprise. Uh, T. Fisher, thank you for the super chats. I do appreciate that. I know you did it probably 10 minutes ago, but that's just me getting this far down here. Linda Kruger, thoughts on Nasara? Will it happen and when? Predictions are welcome. I've done videos on it before. It sounds great. Okay, it's not realistic, and as much as there's all sorts of this is going to be great. We'll have the whole money system. There's so many holes in it that it'll never work. I mean, it's not like it's a new idea either. I mean, it's been around for decades. It's just there's so many holes in it for why it can't work that it's never been implemented, never even been tried. So will it happen and when? No, it won't happen, and because it won't happen, that means when is never. Is it Vilje Blanco, Wisconsin here? Okay. Big Dog, ammo, meat, or silver? Have an extra couple $100. What should I focus on? Well, I will say this: silver is after you've got everything else taken care of. If you don't have a year's worth of food put back, food is first. Okay. Ammo is a complete different animal. It depends on how much you think you need. There is no right amount to have. If I'm living in the city, probably want a lot. Okay, to get me out. Living out in the country, I'm going to want a lot because it's probably how I'm going to eat. But so whatever you're comfortable with. If you feel you've got enough food and enough ammo, a sustenance and protection, then you go buy silver. Okay. The other thing I will say too is, are all your bills paid? Okay, because that's the other thing. And I understand not everybody's going, oh my God, my mortgage is paid, but don't tell me you're going out and buying silver and you've got credit card bills. Okay, that should be the first thing that's done. Curry, Lisa may have bought a collectible round. Next time is for the generic. That's true too. Going back to Lisa's question, and I've said it before. I'm not interested in American Silver Eagles. I'm not interested in Canadian Maple Leafs. Those are collectors pieces. Okay, and they come at a higher premium or higher cost because those are what collectors go after. I'm not interested in the collectability of the silver. I'm worried about the silver content. Now, sure, for marketing reasons, there's all sorts of pretty designs on the coin and everything like that the mints make. Okay, the difference is, Silver Eagles are printed by the U.S. Mint, Canadian Maple Leafs by the Canadian Mint. All the other stuff is printed by private mints. Here's the thing. They're all the same silver. It's all 1 ounce of solid silver. Okay. You're paying extra for that design to have the maple leaf on there, have the eagle on there, or whatever. I don't care. It's silver. Okay. You give me a round disc that looks like a slug. If it's 1 ounce of silver, that's fine by me. The designs are pretty to look at and everything, but they don't make any difference. To a collector, they would. To a stacker, they don't. Okay, and what we stack for SHTF and wealth preservation, stick to the generic rounds. Don't waste your money on the premium stuff. You're just wasting money. If you're a collector, different story. If you want to have this, pass it down to the kids, conversation piece, have your coin buddies over and everything like that. Yeah, go ahead, buy that. But just understand, you're paying more for something that has no more value. An ounce of silver is an ounce of silver, and that's it. Bill J. Blanco says, I shop SD Bullion. They're very reliable. Yes, they're one of the ones I use. I've said many times, comparesilverprices.com. SD Bullion is one of the bullion dealers on there. Sunshine Me, do I know anything about SD Bullion? Yes, like I just said, go to comparesilverprices.com. I would recommend any one of those except for eBay. And they're all good. Jacob saying I look at JM Bullion, another one that's on there. Any of the bullion dealers on comparesilverprices.com is good. If one of you guys, North Shore Jacob, can put up the link for comparesilverprices.com, just so everybody can click on it if they want to. That's where you go, take a look and see what I'm talking about if anybody hasn't seen it on the countless times I've talked about it. L30 Blue UTFT. I love some of the names. It's like blah, 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 blah. Pinball, hi, my friend. Watching from Liverpool, UK. Tomorrow I get evicted from my home. Oh, shit. So I will live on the streets. I have 130 pounds to live on. What's the best stuff to buy to keep warm and feed me? And where to get it is the question. To keep warm, I would get you one of the emergency Mylar blankets. Kind of almost looks like aluminum foil you can put around you, but that'll keep you warm. And feed you. And again, if you've got 130 pounds to feed, there's way too much information that I don't have there. Don't you have anywhere to go? There is no friend, no shelter, no family, no nothing. To literally live on the streets 130 pounds. What are you going to do when 130 pounds is gone? Somehow, some way, there's got to be somewhere to go. Hell, every country in this world is just dishing out money for free, and trying to get people back on their feet. There's got to be some help there in Great Britain that you can get somewhere. There's just too many questions I have to be able to answer that question. Just prayers for you, brother. That sucks. Jules Goldstein, bought silver last week thinking I should buy more this week. I wish I would have bought more when it was 24, 25, but I still think silver's got a long way to go. So yeah, I'd still be buying here. I see this up on my phone, and Kenneth Oliver saying, saw $1 silver dollars for $9.99. Okay, guys, old adage, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. I mentioned this in a video before. There are on eBay Chinese fakes of American, American silver dollars, Morgans or whatever it would be, that are literally made of aluminum. Okay, and they'll sell them for $5 or whatever, and say on there, fake U.S. silver coin. What you have the problem with is then you get all these bad actors here in the States who are buying those and then selling them on eBay, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace as the real deal. Now, they can't walk into a coin shop because a coin shop's going to test it and go, dude, you're high. Okay, this isn't real. But they're going to sell it to you over Facebook Marketplace, and you may not know the difference. And they're going to charge you $30 for it, or whatever. This guy, $9, $9.99. Oh my God, it's a great deal. Who in the world, again, think of the logic of this. You can walk into any coin shop right now and say, I've got a silver coin, silver dollar, all right? And they're going to give you, if it's 90% silver, $23 for it. They're going to give you spot. If you own it, why would you sell it for $10 when you can get 23 for it? Okay, yeah. Think about the other. Why would he be selling it for this? Okay, because it ain't real. Dove Jacobs, I collect silver and copper by the sheets. Yeah, well, there's another way to do it. Okay. Jeff Rummel, metal market is open 24 hours until Friday, then open Sunday. Yeah, it's just traded on the NYMEX or, it's on different exchanges. But yeah, I'm talking about regular market hours because somebody just said it was at 28.45, so it's up in the aftermarkets. Raptor Ranch, 82 here in Wisconsin. Don't like it too hot. It's 10 degrees warmer there than it was here today. It got here up only at 72. Dave, copper with situations in Chile. Yes, absolutely. I picked up 100 ounces of it this morning. And I posted a link to where to get it. And if y'all want to know, I will tell you again, which they actually had it in stock. It'll take a couple of weeks to get to you, but it is goldenstatemint.com. And I will post the link. Bear with me. Paste. There you go, guys. There's the link right there for everybody if you want to go look at copper rounds. And again, they're all the generic copper rounds or whatever with all the pretty, Apollo 13 or 11 or whatever it was in different series and Indian heads, and you get them all pretty. Just, again, it's copper. Now, let's see. I'm going to look at something here because no, and this is the interesting part, and this is why I saw it when I saw it this morning. For some reason, they are selling 1 ounce rounds at $9.99 copper for $2.89, and so obviously I bought them. If copper's more expensive now, they're 1 ounce rounds, and this is exactly what it says. First time I've used this place, so I'll know in a couple of weeks what's going on. But it says 1 ounce, $9.99 fine copper, and 50th anniversary of Apollo 11 for this one. Not a legal tender, and is a bullion product made by Golden State Mint. It's fine. I want it for the copper content. It's a hedge, and also it's something that's got a lower value again, which, like I told you, you're going to be needing to make change somehow. So be coins, be copper, whatever it would be. Okay. HJS video. When do tips, bond, mutual funds, January fluctuate with the regular bond market? As inflation moves, they'll go with bond rates, and the NAV will go up and down. But a penny or something, they're not going to move until you see an inflation rate go up, and then that's when you'll have some price movement in there, because now you're talking about price yield, and as the yield goes up, that's going to change the price whole 9 yards. So I don't want to get too into the weeds on trying to explain it, but yeah, you're not going to worry about the NAV, net asset value, changing until we see inflation moving. It'll change a penny or so for the simple reason of buyers and sellers, but you're not going to see any wild fluctuations. That's kind of the whole point of it. Flip and Deegan, YouTube unsubscribed me from the channel. Man, we see that every week. People get unsubscribed. It's like, okay, got to go back. I don't know why they do it. Why YouTube's got their hand in all that. What do they care if somebody's subscribed or not? You think they'd want more people subscribed because they run all these ads and that's how they make money, okay? Why are they going to keep people from watching videos? Makes no sense. Though I do laugh because from what y'all are telling me, it seems like every ad they're putting in my videos is, get the vax, get the vax, get the vax. As I'm sitting there going, and OSHA just said this, but, Amy Arson, oh, my huge lawn was just hydro-seeded. Oh my God, the water bill, no rain in sight. Oh, good luck. Let's see. I gotta scroll back up here. I'm looking. Trying to find where we were. And I'm way behind. Okay, this is as far as I can go. Top of the list again. Kenneth Oliver says, what about Canadian or Australian foreign coins compared to U.S.? It doesn't, like I said, I don't care if it's a slug. All right, if it's solid silver, if it's or 90% silver, if it's Canadian and silver, if it's Australian and silver, it's silver. That's what you're looking for, or copper, whatever it would be. I don't know if the Canadian pennies were ever, what is it? Pennies, U.S. pennies. It's 1981 or before is copper, and silver is 1960. I just had it in my head, 63 or before, 64 or before, one of the two, early 60s. Those are the ones you want. Anything after those two time frames, it's too much zinc and all the other, useless metals in there. Rooster, worm castings work wonders. I just learned that in the last 2 years. Yeah. Worm castings, you're not going to grow an entire garden on it, but a lot of people have little worm farms and, make it. Worms don't poop that much, but they do work wonderfully. You're not going to see a farmer spreading worm castings, that'd kill them in cost. But for your potted plants, or your vegetables, if you're growing in pots or something like that, you can get some worm castings in there. Yeah, wonderful. It's just they're expensive to buy, so you've got to make your own, and then you've got to be feeding your worms, everything like that. So it's a hobby. I don't do it. Don't have time. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, Joe DeFazio, dollar went to 89 cents today. Yeah, we dropped below 90, that's a signal to the market. It's one of those psychological things that scares everybody. So and what that's talking about, guys, is the spending power of a dollar. How it's dropped. So you've probably seen the commercials on TV. It's like what you could buy for $1, or what you could. How did it work? $1 in 2000 is worth like 69 cents now. It's worth like 67 actually now. It's gone down. So, what took you 67 cents to buy in 2000 now takes you $1 to buy. So, Amy says she's got a worm farm. Got his Tay money. Still waiting to plant my garden in Montana. Getting more snow Thursday and Friday. Okay, thank you. I'm glad we didn't move to Montana when we were considering it. So, because middle of May and more snow, I would not be dealing with that. I mean, like I said, I'm harvesting stuff from my garden. I actually have peppers in my pepper plants that are about an inch long. I don't want to be waiting to plant until I should be harvesting. Okay. Bruce Sear, are you planning to go to Prepper Fest put on by Prepper Nurse first in July? No, I am not. Okay, will not be there. I'm not traveling for. If I have to travel, I've got a trip coming up in a couple of weeks. That's a mandatory trip. I got to take to South Carolina, but I'm not traveling for pleasure at this point. Just. I don't want to be away from home. It's not that I'm worried about COVID or anything like that. I don't want to be away from home with the fragility of what's going on in the country. Last thing I want to do is be stuck somewhere and going, and we've closed all the borders and you can't get home. And I'm going, great, I've got my wife and 2 dogs in a truck and everything is 500 miles away from me. So, no. Yeah, not a good time to be making that trip to me. Lisa Preps, I forgot I also bought 10 dimes and 4 quarters of junk silver. It was $24.87 for the 4 quarters. That's about right. And the same for 10 dimes. Yeah, how much would a good amount to put aside for preps and junk silver? Okay, the standard always when I was a broker was 5 to 10% of your income or of your wealth. Okay, your liquid assets in precious metals. I'd say with what's going on in the country, I'm shooting for 10 to 20%, and that's going to be adjusted too. Obviously, I'm adjusting up as things get a little more hairy because you're trying to protect your spending power, and I've explained how that works before. So how much is a good amount? The best I can do is give you a percentage because, you could be like the guy in the UK who's got 130 pounds to his name, or you could be Jeff Bezos sitting in on my channel under the name Lisa Preps. I don't know. And at that point, you better be buying Fort Knox. But beside the point. Jeff C., can we avoid the SHTF and how? Yeah, it certainly can be. Cooler heads have to be, the first thing that has to happen is the World Economic Forum has to be given a double bird and say goodbye, okay? You're not coming into the United States, because if the United States ain't on board, they're dead. So that's the thing. And then it's a matter of getting all these communists out of Washington that are trying to sell our country to the highest bidder so they can put their money into their pockets, okay? Yes, that still means elections, okay? I understand, and I am ready just as much that it could become aggressive. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to see it go there, but if it does, sure, we're all ready. But again, war is always your last resort. And if we can get rid of the Biden's, Harris's, AOC, Schumer's, Pelosi's, and kick these people to the curb. In other words, if most of the American public wakes up one day, that's going to be the easiest way to do it, right? And I'm not saying vote all Republican, because there's a bunch of trash Republicans. I mean, we all know Liz Cheney, Mitt Romney, John McCain, and another piece of shit. But what I'm saying is, if we elect people who think with this instead of with their wallet, and the problem is there's not a government in the world that, including ours, that gives a rat's ass about its people anymore. They're all too worried about lining their own pockets. And eventually the people go, I'm not taking this anymore. And that's when governments get overthrown by the people. And it happens over and over and over in society. And eventually it will happen here too. Okay. Sunset, you will own nothing and be happy. Thoughts? Bullshit. Okay. Sorry, not going to happen. All right. Klaus, you want to do that? I welcome you to walk on my front door and knock on the door and say, we're taking your house. I guarantee you, you will never see the driveway again unless it's in the back of a hearse. Okay. That's it. So, because you ain't taking what's mine unless I'm dead. And I guarantee I'll take one or two of you with me. So if you got the balls to come do it, please do. Just know you're taking the chance that you never go home to see your wife either. Ace Maduro, I usually don't answer when someone asks me how much ammo I have. It tends to make people nervous. I don't either. Okay. I don't answer when people ask me how much food I have, how much ammo I have, how many weapons I have, whatever. Okay. I have some. I have enough. Okay. Those are my answers. And that scares them more than if they know. It's like, he has enough. How much is enough? Okay. Because your enough is different than my enough. So. Joe Sixpack, any thoughts on diamonds for wealth preservation? I'd go with the same idea here that I have with gold. They'll be good for major purchases or something. But again, the problem I have with it, diamond, a little tiny diamond ring, that, even if it's a 1 carat diamond, which isn't huge, right? In an SHTF situation, 1 carat diamond is going to, I don't know what diamond costs now, $5,000. Okay. So let's say that's what it's worth. Nobody's going to give you $5,000 for it. So you have that issue first. Then you have the issue of what are you trying to trade it for? Because it's not like you can cut off pieces of the diamond and give it to somebody else. So they literally have to have a couple ounces of gold probably to give you a change plus a stack of silver. But the other problem I have is something that's tiny. Can you imagine losing something like that? Again, in SHTF situation, right, where things are going to be a little bit chaotic, and you got this tiny little rock, and it disappears. So, you mentioned crawling around on the floor looking for $5,000. At least with coins or whatever, they're bigger. Easier to find because they're not clear. They're going to be easier to find. Now, I understand everybody say, oh, you put it in a safe and whatever. Sure. Okay. But if you want to use it for something, you got to take it out. And the last thing you want to do is find out you got a hole in your pocket. So, Tom, damn, I missed 28 minutes. That's what replays are for. How-to videos. What are your thoughts on older silver dollars and quarters? I probably touched on it a couple of times already. As long as sometimes they're good. Depends on what you want to do. They're going to be used as change in the black market, if you will, if we get that far. Because, if I've got a $25, let's hypothetically say that silver's worth $25. Okay, obviously it's 28 change right now, but let's just say it's $25. And I want to buy 2 loaves of bread. Okay, and let's say the guy's charging $5 a loaf of bread. That's $10. How are you going to give me my $15 change? He's not going to cut a piece of that silver coin off, so he's going to have to give it to me in junk silver. And so that's where your junk silver is going to wind up your coinage, where your silver rounds are going to wind up your bills. America First. Pinball, you sound cranky tonight. No, actually, I'm in a pretty good mood. And cranky was a couple of nights ago when I went ballistic for the first 10 minutes of the video. Yeah, there's a lot of the trolls have disappeared again, which is good. I don't think I've seen one person that the executioners here have, chopped heads tonight. Savoy truffle. It really pays to have a good relationship with your local dealer if you have one. Yes, it does, because they'll let you know when stuff comes in and definitely make, you'll get a friends and family discount a lot of times, but that's as long as you are fair to them too. So Iron Bar, can you use a hand pump on a shallow well? I don't see why not. I mean, the pump doesn't care if it's 50 feet or 300 feet. It's probably easier to pump out of the shallow well, because I know with mine, I would pump and pump and pump and pump and pump because I got 330 feet to go up. Sunset, do I find that buying veggie plants from a store have a tendency to be diseased? Do you prefer buying plants or seeds? Absolutely, I prefer buying seeds for a multitude of reasons. Well, buying seeds and saving seeds. Buying seeds, for the cost difference, because I think we all talked about this a while back. I mean, Walmart, what's $3.50, $4 a plant, for tiny little tomato that's this big. Okay, I planted 55 tomatoes, and $250 worth of tomatoes. If I bought plants at Walmart, no thank you. Okay, $5 worth of seeds, yeah, it works. But then the other part is, and I'll do this when we get into it in the fall, is saving seeds. And again, a couple of reasons on this. First off, if you save your seeds correctly, you don't have to buy them next year, so it costs you $0. But the second thing is the plants also start to adapt to the growing conditions in your area. So they get used to a more clayish soil or a drier or more humid climate or whatever it is. And your plants will tend to produce better if you are growing from the seed from a plant that's already grown there. Because the seed I go buy in the store, I mean, I don't know if those seeds were, grown in Georgia or grown in a greenhouse in Maine, obviously not my climate. So, you try to find ones that are as best you can, but the ones that grew in my yard, that's going to be the best place for me to get seeds. So yeah, I will, for budgetary reasons and for growing reasons, I will always go with seeds. Now, I will also be the first to admit that I did have to go to Walmart and buy a couple of pepper plants this week to fill in for a couple of them that died. So I'm not totally against it, but I mean, that's the 6 plants that I put in or 7 plants that I put in versus the 500 and some odd plants that I actually have in all my gardens. Those are the only ones, so 6 or 7 out of 500 and something. Yeah, that's about the percentage I'm going to buy plants. The only reason I'm going to buy plants is to fill in where my seeds didn't work. And no, I've never had, sorry, I forgot about the other part. No, I've never found them to be diseased. So, Starro, some folks have 100% physical gold and silver in their portfolio. How would they cash in to, say, pay property taxes if CBDC occurs? Would love to know. Well, if you have a situation like that, coin dealers are still going to exist. Coin shops are still going to exist. It's not like all of a sudden everything is going to disappear, okay? You're not going to wake up Monday morning, turn on the news and go, okay, America, you have 6 hours to trade in all your greenbacks for, digital currency. It's going to be something that's going to be slowly phased in if CBDC occurs, and you'd have plenty of time to do it, right? And then I still tell you, if that happens, I still wouldn't advise selling the silver or the gold or the copper or the platinum or the palladium or whatever you've got, because CDBC will be a colossal failure and we will wind up on a black market economy. And when the power goes out, CDBC is just like Bitcoin, is absolutely worthless. But I still have that coin in my hand that somebody might want. Got to have something physical. Okay, serenity, peace, and comfort. Go to your local Christian church. They will help you. Good idea there. Can't believe I didn't even think about that. But yeah, check out something. This, again, is for the gentleman in the UK we talked about earlier. Yeah, check with your church. They can at least give you shelter or something like that, somewhere to go. The Rooster. My grandfather said people will be trading an old silver for barter one day, and you'll hold 99.49's fine as your wealth. Seem logical, don't you think? It's exactly what I think is going to happen too. That paper money is eventually going to be absolutely worthless, and all these people who are millionaires on paper or millionaires in digital currency, the power goes out and they are broke. And those who own the physical, like I said, hard assets, this is where I've been saying that I'd be putting all my money right now, is hard assets, is the way to go. If you can put extra money into buying silver, obviously buying land is not cheap. But if you got a windfall all of a sudden, it's like, okay, hey, we can go buy some land or buy the property next door or whatever it is. That's going to be much more beneficial to you going forward than the dollar at 89 cents, 79 cents, 69 cents, 9 cents, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bye. So, okay, holy crap, it's 8:56. Yeah, North Shore, I got that one, the hand pump on a shallow well. I'm scrolling on down again. Catherine R., I bought Eagles and Maples because I think they may be more recognizable during an SHTF situation. To certain people, okay? But again, any of the private mint ones say on a 0.999 fine silver. And if they're looking for silver, in an SHTF situation, they're not going to care what the picture is on the front. They're going to care what the silver content is. So, and you all know silver has a very distinctive feel to it, a very distinctive sound to it. It's not extremely difficult to tell if it's real or fake. Now, granted, you can get into the high-tech stuff, which obviously a coin dealer is going to do. But, the guy who's selling bananas on the, street corner or whatever it is, and you've got silver, he's going to be able to tell pretty quick if you're giving him a piece of tin or you're giving him silver. So, but again, that's your choice. All I'm saying is, you're paying $45 where we're paying $34 for 1 ounce of silver. L30 Blue UTFT, thank you. UK is crumbling. I can't get help here. They don't care. I also have no family. Okay, somebody had just mentioned, try the churches. Try the Christian churches. Try the Catholic churches. They can probably at least get you in some sort of shelter, or somewhere to keep you out of the weather. Eric the Red, I would like to know if the gold and silver you can invest in an IRA is worth investing in. I know it's not actual physical metal, but looking for options for my IRA account. You can get a physical gold and silver IRA where literally you will get the coins to put in your safe at home, if you will. Okay, that is possible to do, and if you go online and look up physical silver IRA, you'll see it. There's a couple of hoops you got to jump through. You usually have to set up an LLC, then you have to move your IRA to an LLC. It costs you a couple of $100 to do it. But if you got a $300 IRA, don't bother. But if you're looking at doing it with 5-6 figures or whatever, Yeah, you can do it, and that way you hold the physical. The paper IRAs, like I said, I don't have any faith in them whatsoever, because we all know the banks are selling the one, they got 1 ounce of silver and they're selling it to 10 different people. If all 10 people go, I want to cash in and get my silver, they go to 9 of them, sorry, we don't have it. Here's an IOU. The next time we get it, we'll give it to you. Okay. So, physical, physical, physical. All right. One more question. Jeff Cox says, been stacking silver for a while now. Usually get 1 ounce a week. It adds up quick. Yes, it does. I'm doing the same thing. Sandra Templeton, second try. Do you recommend a storage unit for someone in a townhome? No garage, no cellar, under bed, closets, pantry full. Depends on where it is. A storage unit is a great idea, but if it's half an hour away from you, are you going to be able to get to it? I mean, if it's, you're in an apartment and it's 2 streets over, whatever it is, you can ride a bicycle to it, quickly, you could walk to it. Yeah, then it's a decent idea. It's also a good place to hide if you had to. But, if you got to get in the car and drive and go 20 minutes to get there, no, I would not recommend it, because in an SHTF situation, you're not going to risk driving 15, 20 minutes one way and try to get a bucket of rice and drive back, because you're going to get carjacked on the way somewhere, or somebody's going to follow you. So if it's close and you can get there, it's got 24-hour access, maybe. But yeah, I mean, if you're out of space, yeah, it's about your only option. So just make sure it's somewhere very close. All right, guys, 9 o'clock. I got stuff to do, and I assume you all do too. I think Patriot Nurse comes on next, or Prepper Nurse 1 comes on next. Patriot Nurse, a different channel. So y'all have a good Tuesday evening. We'll see y'all in the morning. Pinball out.